guys, and welcome back to our White Tigers Rising series. You can see here from the table, we are 15th in the table at 18 games. Not exactly the month I was hoping for, and we'll get into that through the highlights a little bit. We had kind of a surprising affair in one game, but otherwise I think we've cooled off. And I don't think we're going to need to worry a whole lot about trophies for the rest of this particular season, since we've bailed out of all those competitions relatively spectacularly. Might I add. Just a quick look at the squad. Defense, 4th best overall in the league, 12th best offense in the league. We do have the 3rd highest yellow cards, which is something we're going to need to kind of take a look at and deal with. Just a little bit in terms of squad news. Dylan Barnes has left. He'd been barking that he didn't want to be a part of the squad anymore. He wasn't getting played enough. I played him in the cup competitions, but he's my number 2 goalkeeper, and that's sort of what happens when you're the number 2 goalkeeper. So we've moved him on. We've had a couple of guys. So Ramos Sheriff has been out on loan on and off. Risa Bruzier as well has been on loan on and off. This was the man that I was talking about last time. So Freddie Tracy's the new striker that we brought in. Happy with his dribbling, finishing, first touch ability. Mentals I'm happy with. Not the best anticipator in the world, but aggressive, composed, good decisions, good determination, good flair, really good off the ball. Not bad in positioning, good teamwork, really good in terms of his physicals and balance, agility, acceleration, pace, stamina, strength, and fitness. So I'm kind of hoping he's only come in and he's played 2 games for us on the Johnson's Pay Trophy. So he scored 1 and 2, so not bad so far as a start. He's played at this particular level before and a little higher, so we'll see what happens here. I need to do something, as you'll see, with what's going on. So that's it for the basics, guys, and I'll see you in the first highlight. Okay, guys, welcome to the Northampton game, and this qualifies as the explosion of the month. So we end up beating Northampton in this one 5-2. They opened the scoring on 28 minutes, and I was a little nervous that we were in trouble here and that things weren't really going to go in our favor. We ended up hanging on till halftime. They clearly were banging them at us pretty effectively. Overall, we had some serious problems with fullbacks in this one. We made some substitutions. Substitutions ended up working out reasonably well for us. We've been playing around with whether or not we're using fullbacks and kind of on support. Look, in this case, we brought them out, looked for the overlap, and really kind of turned on the offense. As you can see, we were incredibly efficient. 5 goals on 6 shots on target. We are shooting a little bit more than I would have liked overall, but it's really hard to complain. But we tied it back up in the 50th minute. They pulled ahead in the 51st, and in the 55th minute, we just said, screw you guys, put the pedal to the metal, and there you go. So Dion Pereira with a hat trick of assists, Fahad Rakawamwe with another assist. He also had a goal. Kelsey Mooney banged in 2, Wes McDonald banged in 1, and Miko Vertanen banged in 1. So let's get things underway. So Lewin Bentley here scoring. Again, out wide, we failed to cross down, far post. Just a really, really nice, goal from them, which was, again, part and parcel of the complexity in the fullback play that we've been dealing with. So corner, Wes McDonald's wide open, beautiful header, just slams that into the back of the net. Really nice for us. Unfortunately, they managed to claw one back. So again, corner kick, we failed to really clear the line, and just he's right there in the middle, out jumps the covering center back, and puts that one in the back of the net. So at this point, we're down 2-1, and I'm a little nervous, and Miko comes to the rescue. You can see here, we're working the ball, and I can't quite tell if that was the pass or the tackle is intended. Vertanen's in a really good spot, just off the shoulder of the center back covering him. He loses out in the marking and just puts the pedal to the metal, and that's all she wrote. Kelsey Mooney with his first here in the 73rd minute. So Wes McDonald gets out wide, finds Dion Pereira, who just goes far post with it. Mooney's right there with the header. Not much a keeper's going to do. Knocks it right back across him. And that puts us back into the mix at 2-2, or up 3-2. Fahad, the Rock here, nice breakaway. Pereira again on fire at the end of the match. Just puts a really nasty cross into that no man's land. Rakawamwe's right there. Keeper can't quite get out. It's a dead zone between the center backs and the keeper. Nobody really goes for it, but Fahad bangs that one in. And then the final goal of the affair, Kelsey Mooney. He was slightly injured with a damaged heel in this one. Rakawamwe finds him nicely. He's wide open, just totally unmarked there, and bangs that one in. So we played really, really well, which was really encouraging for the month here for us. So unfortunately, it starts to turn a little bit. So I'll see you guys in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so next match we had Hartlepool in the first round of the FA Cup. Unfortunately, this was only 3 days after the last match, and we had another match in the Johnson's Paint Trophy quarterfinal coming up in another 4 days with a league match 3 days after that. So we got a little jacked up here with squad rotation and kind of how to handle things with a lot of matches, 3 matches in 7 days, unfortunately. So what I decided to do, unfortunately, given how tight this was to the last league match, was sort of forego it. I put in a massively rotated side, just a generally weakened side and an underperforming side with only a couple of guys that have been playing in the regular 11 for us on it. And we sort of paid the price for it. We let up 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half, including a semi-embarrassing own goal from Fahad. They just beat us. They played a much better lineup. They played a much stronger lineup and just handily beat us. So disappointed, but I don't. I think given where we were and the need to stay in the league, being the focus, I'm not necessarily upset that we kind of kicked the this particular competition. Sort of punted for this season. I think next season, this is potentially one that we need to look at with a little more seriousness. Like I said, that third round in a potential FA Cup tie with a Premier League team is now a much more realistic option for the club. And I think from a financial perspective, that's something we're going to need to take seriously next season. But I need to get through this season and make sure that I feel comfortable that the squad is solidly going to be a League 2 squad before we really start taking something like that seriously. So we're going to just walk through the goals. I think there's not a whole lot I want to take away from this. Things are a little symptomatic of what we're seeing with the starting 11 in the full rotated squad. Right over the top, the center back just gets beaten over the top. He can't head. He was marking him well, but he just doesn't have the jumping reach. Caught him right over the top, and he bangs it right in the back of the net on that one. But our normal center backs don't get caught by things like that. And then this one is Booth getting beat again. He just doesn't really have the pace and acceleration to be a full-time starting center back there. He's not a terrible cover guy if I have an injury or need something, but he's not somebody I'm going to sit down and really rely on in there. The own goal, this one was just sort of embarrassing. You kind of feel bad for the Rock on this one. He gets out wide. It's a cross in there and just sort of bangs it off his face. There's not a whole lot anybody was going to do on that one. And then Kadawembe finishes up the scoring here. You can see him in the middle. This is just going to be a really nice cross. Comes in. He's right there in the middle. Rebounds off the keeper. It was a hard shot. Barnes couldn't handle it. And he's in the right position at the right time to just knock that one in. So we're out of the FA Cup in the first round. Thankfully, it's going to relax our match fixtures and potentially give us some different breaks over the next month or two as teams in League 2 do make it up a little farther and deeper into this particular competition, which I think is something that we're going to use. So that's all for the FA Cup, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, welcome back to the next highlight. So this was the Johnson's Paint Trophy South quarterfinal against who is seemingly starting to appear as our League Two bogey team, Barnet. And we won. We lost 1-0. Sorry, I got excited. I thought we won. I would have liked to have won. We lost 1-0 in this one. Again, I tried to put a little bit stronger side because unfortunately my weak side was really exhausted, having had to play right on top of each other. In that we're still struggling a little bit. Left back played really well. We had a little bit of an issue with the right back out of the gate. We brought Terry Lines in. We substituted Lines in, and he just didn't really kind of play for us. We had pulled Line. We substituted Muggeridge in. Because we took Lines off because of the yellow card. But we just did I do that? I'm sorry. I'm really totally confused with this game. No, we brought Muggeridge into play in the right midfield because Phipp was really in bad shape and he can sort of play up there. I apologize. Fullbacks were a little better in this one, but overall we were we went 4-4-2 to try and do something against Barnet. I had tried my 4-2-3-1 the last time. It didn't work, so I thought I'd try something different. It didn't work. We need to start thinking. We need to do a little bit more thinking on this one. Russell Brown went down injured in this one. He was out for a couple of weeks, which is bad for us because obviously we're a little weak at center back on that one. The only goal of the game came from Joel Logan here just after half. Other than us getting a fleet load of yellow cards, there's not much to say. Free kick off the post. Probably should have went in on the free kick there, but he just cleans up the rebound. Otherwise, there was not much from open play in this one to really talk about. So that's it for this highlight, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, guys, so we returned back to league play against Exeter here, and unfortunately, it didn't really go our way. We've been on a little bit of a skid, so the two losses in cup competitions don't necessarily bother me. Like I said, the FA Cup, getting out of the FA Cup and getting out of the Johnson's Paint Trophy is going to reduce some match fixture congestion for us, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world right now, given that our focus really needs to be and should be on the league. But the two losses are kind of tweaking around with team morale here, and we need to kind of do something about we kind of need to figure out how to counteract that. We probably are coming up, I think, on an international break, hopefully soon, or I can squeeze in a friendly where we kind of get confidence back by battering somebody before we get into the Christmas period. So I need to kind of figure that out. But we ended up getting smashed 3-1. Frank Mullum, no matter what we did to him, we marked him, we put guys all over him. If I could have put 10 guys out there on him, I don't think it would have made a lick of difference in this one. He was just better. He opened the scoring in the 37th minute. We did draw it back in the 65th, and then right away they hit us back and put the game away in the 74th minute. But here's the opening goal. They work it right down. He just beats the line right over the top. Just a beautiful solo effort, and just absolutely crushes us. And Niall Booth again gets victimized right there. So Freddie Tracy, our new signing, gets his first goal for the club in league. In the second league play, just gets right around his guy nicely, powers a shot in right off the keeper, and puts it in. So that was really nice. I really like that. I really like what I'm seeing from him. Unfortunately, Frank was back in action. Again, out wide. Fullback fails to cover. He's right there. Booth again in trouble working it. So Booth's a bit of a problem space for us. When we get into the January transfer window, I'm going to see if I can try and move him in and find a replacement. Last one, corner kick. And guess who's at fault again on this one. So he had kind of he had an assist in the game on the Freddie Tracy goal, but still played pretty terribly, and Lewis Booth didn't have a real good game either. Defense wasn't really out there to play. So that kind of ended the mess, and now I was a little nervous going into the feature game of the month. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in that highlight. So guys, we're back here in the feature game of the month. Again, we were at home against Morecambe. This was a game I had sort of highlighted in my head since they're down in the relegation places as one where I really felt like this was a game where we needed to pull points out of. Now, I recognize when I speak to the universe now, I need to be a hair more specific and say, when I say points, I do mean all three, not just one. We'll go through the extended highlights. You can see the game. Again, we're not a lot on target. We had a lot of possession. We did I felt like we really did dominate the game. We just didn't make it happen on the day. So that's a little unnerving in this one. So you can see here we get underway. They're passing pretty effectively. Corner pops it right over the top there, and I think we get a little lucky that they don't have somebody right there to get it in. Grayson comes up with a nice tackle to get rid of the ball. Line's in good position on this one to just snake it away. We're playing we're playing a more short passing possession game in our 4-2-3-1, which seems to be working better. We're able to kind of get the ball down here. We're able to set up patiently like we had been doing in lower leagues before. We're creating some opportunities. We're just not quite getting it right. So I'm confident if we keep going and doing what we're doing, things are going to start happening for us. Grayson there again with a good shot. But we're getting the ball passed around nicely. We're getting it into the box. We're just not quite getting into the right positions to score. So I'm confident that I think this is more of a time problem than anything else. Yeah, bad pass trying to switch the field there, but and then a lousy header from Baldwin. But the defense is back. Unfortunately, we had Booth getting caught out of position there on that, and just a lousy pass from Baldwin to get things going. Decent free kick attempt there, just couldn't quite catch the rebound. It was a bad angle, but promising. Like, we're creating opportunities. We're again being creative. We're stingy and difficult on defense, so I can't complain a ton. But we're just not putting it over the top and finishing it. Again here you can see we're controlling the ball, we're holding it. I'm happier with what's going on with the defensive passing. We're more stable. We're not giving the ball away in bad positions as much anymore. But we now we need to do something with it. If we're holding on to the ball, we're passing well, we're executing well with the short passes. We just need to finish the job when we get them broken down. Again, we're here. We find McDonald. We're in a nice spot. Guys are available and options. We're just not making the right passes. That was just a shit free kick, bouncing it off the face of his own guy. Like that, Mooney. That's something we really need Mooney to be bringing down so that that he can get there. But his elephant first touch, kills a promising play. Thankfully, nobody else is on the counter, so he doesn't have any options and can't really do anything. And we have plenty of guys back. But in a slightly different situation, in that we would have been highly vulnerable. With somebody coming down. Again, there, I think we just got lucky. He couldn't turn that on. On frame, we're getting better with defending those set pieces. Here, we have a break. McDonald, Vertanen, gets out, but it's unfortunately the very end of the game. They get out. The patient game means we're not going to get as many fast break crosses in there. So we do need to be a little more patient and careful, and that's something I think we're going to have to play around a little bit with some instructions for how to get guys deeper. But as you can see, kind of a crap draw at the end of the day. We had some opportunities, but we just couldn't make them happen. So that's it for this particular one, and I will see you guys in the wrap-up. Hey guys, so welcome back to the schedule. So looking ahead, we've got a decent little month. We have a gap between the Notts County and Plymouth games. So I think I'm going to try and squeeze a friendly in there to try and get the confidence of the team up and put some, and start putting some goals past some more junior competition. We have another Cornwall derby that we will cover in the next episode, and I believe, I think we may make that the feature game in the next episode, but we'll play up to AFC Wimbledon. So next episode is going to cover away at Notts County, home for the first Cornwall derby of League 2. And then we're going to play home to Tranmere, away to Oxford, and then home to AFC Wimbledon. So right now, Notts County is a game we should pick up points. Plymouth's a game we should pick up points. Tranmere, maybe not. Oxford for sure, and Wimbledon for sure. So I'd really, really be happy if this was an 8-point month. I think six is a good 6 would be a good month for us. Eight, or better would be a fantastic month for us, but we'll see what happens in this one. So remember, guys, if you like what's going on in this series, please smash the like button on the video. If you like what's going on the channel, hit that subscribe button. Check out the links over here. I have the links to the full White Tigers Rising series, as well as Paul's Creating a Legacy series with FC United of Manchester. So please check out his series. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye now.